Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now let's talk middleweight. Let's talk Canelo Alvarez. I talked about him the other day, you know, and I was saying we should ignore the Billy Joe Saunders match if you matched up with Billy Joe Saunders. And I gave my reasons why, right? And it just brings me to my point about Canelo right now. Just right now. It would be cool if Canelo was black. If Canelo was a black fighter. Because then, when people are looking at me, they're colorblind at that particular time. Because, see, black fight fans and black people, period, but in fight fans, it's not a pro-black thing, what people see. One guy asked in the other video, and I thought it was so awesome to see. He said, why is it that only black people, want to see Canelo versus Charlo? Now, I've been going on about Demetrius Andrade and Charlo, but why only black people want to see Charlo? And my answer to that, should have just rolled my own, got time really, listen, is exactly, why is it that only black people want Canelo to fight Jamal Charlo? He's a mandatory, undefeated, and been champion at 154 pounds and 160. But only black people want Canelo to fight him. Exactly. Isn't that the problem? Why do only Democrats want to get to the bottom of Russian hacking our elections? The elections of the United States, our adversary, Russians, hacked the elections. And as Mueller will tell you, they're doing it right now as we speak. But only Democrats want to get to the bottom of that. Withholding aid to the Ukraine, and they're fighting against the Russians because of your own political gain from the president's opt. Right? Thinking about it. Only Democrats want to get to the bottom of it. Dead to right. All of anybody the president has on his side has been to jail or on their way now. Only the Democrats want to get to the bottom of it. It's the same answer. Now, getting up to Canelo Alvarez, I would say Terence Crawford has accomplished just as much as boxing. I think more people even think Terence Crawford is the number one pound for pound, but he's always in the discussion. Terence Crawford has been undisputed, right? Has been undisputed, hasn't lost a fight, not scared of anybody, moving up in weight, wanting to fight the baddest dudes. Not anybody, the baddest dudes, and the baddest dudes are having a problem messing with him. Terence Crawford went to 135, the baddest one there, went to 140, became undisputed, and then left. Going up to 147, asking for the baddest one at 147 right now, who we got to say is Errol Spence. That's who he's focused on. Not on anybody with no belts. And one of the best fighters of the decade. I think, isn't Pacquiao the fighter of the decade from 2000 to 2010? Right? Then we want to give him that because we don't want to give it to Mayweather. Pacquiao. Pacquiao is documented as being afraid of Terence Crawford. Throughout all this time, he could have fought at the same time. They were under top ranked together. That guy, Terence Crawford, very decorated black fighter. Right? Do you know who's on Terence Crawford? Think about this. Boxing royalty, in my opinion. Do you know who's on Terence Crawford for not fighting Sean Porter, who is not a champion right now and is one of his better friends in boxing? Right? Because he won't fight Sean Porter? Black people. That's who. A pound for pound great. Black people are on him. We are on him because he ain't fighting Sean Porter. Nah, not me. I ain't speaking French right now, but a lot. And they're blacks. Okay? Getting on this brother who's very decorated. Could easily say, man, he ain't got to do nothing. Like I'm saying, Terence Crawford ain't got to do nothing. The rest of those guys got to do something. Why I'm going to fight one of my best buddies and it's not for all the marbles? I'll fight my best buddy when it's for the marbles. Right now, Sean Porter don't have a title. That's how black people roll. On this decorated guy. Now, we were English, we wouldn't be on this dude. He'd get the Anthony Joshua treatment. If he's Mexican, he'd get the Canelo treatment. Brothers don't roll like that. That's an example before I go why I would rather Canelo to be black. Because let me tell you something. If Canelo were black, I'm guaranteeing you, brothers, I want to say the N-word, brothers will be on the front line saying, hey, you know what? Fight that white guy, Charlo, because he's your mandatory and he's dangerous. Fight that white guy, Demetrius Andrade, who's been following you 2 weight divisions from 154, where he called you a bitches or whatever, right? Since 154. And you didn't fight him. You went and fought the black guy, Liam Smith, instead of him. And when he had the belt, you didn't do it. right? So fight the white guy, Demetrius Andrade, or fight the white guy, Charlo, because those some bad white dudes. You know who will be saying that? Black people, black boxing fans. Because for them, or for us, it's not only about color. We're talking about injustices. It just so happens that most of the injustices happen to people of color. It's not like that. Every time a black ain't acting right, look at it. Blacks will be on him. Because, see, we don't have no kind of inferiority complex. There's enough black fighters. And even if there wasn't, whatever. If this was snowboarding and there was a black doing good at snowboarding, maybe you could say, hey, oh, you're going for that black dude a little bit because he's not going to have as much experience and be as good as those guys or whatever. I can remember back in the day in tennis when Zena Garrison and Lori McNeil was playing. They didn't start to 13, 14 years old, was playing girls that started at 4 or 5 years old. I was going for the sisters. You know what I'm saying? And admittedly so. Didn't mean that Monica Seles is not my favorite tennis player of all time, Monica Seles. For example, boxing. When I'm getting on Anthony Joshua, the Brits come in and, hey, it's an American thing. He's a Yankee bloke. You know what I'm saying? A wanker, Yankee wanker. You don't know what they call everything except what you're talking about because it's facts. So I like to remind them all the time that my favorite heavyweight of all time is Lennox Lewis. And he's not American. Right? There's not just because they're black. So yes, if Canelo was black and I saw him, or black people period, would see him not fighting mandatories and other champions because he said he wanted to be undisputed and they happen to be white boys, brothers would be on the front line saying, fight that white boy because that's a bad white boy. Just like Golovkin. I think Golovkin had more black fans than anything when he started out. And then it's like, okay, Golovkin, now we with you now, but you can't keep fighting junior middleweights and walking them down. There's some good fighters now. And then, now he's fighting Zemarettas and Vanders Matarosans and Steve Roses of the world. We're not going to continue to. And then all of a sudden, he's a white guy, so you're not on him. I'm on Gennady Golovkin the most. Canelo has a little bit more respect for me than Gennady Golovkin. But Canelo has been finagling. He's never been on the wrong side of a decision ever. And no one cares. And I like the fact that the video is coming in. There's a lot of people coming in on that video, checking out and like, man, what this brother talking about? Why are the black people always complaining? Another salty brother, right? Nothing to do with that, but that's what you see, right? We just want undisputed in every weight division, if we can get it. You guys out there care what his nationality is, how he looks. And like I tell you about boxing, when I say this, I can categorically tell you that this is what I see in over decades of watching. It is BTBG. Beat the black guy. That's what it is. That's what the comments show. That's what people do. They don't care that he's not fighting the best. Canelo is a great fighter. But we can't, when we start putting these guys number 1 pound for pound and top 5 pound for pound, like I've been saying for years now, they will be judged as such. Right? There can't be people in your division where we don't know that you're better than. And they're champions. And then the guy you're fighting, lesser fighters all the time than these guys. Like there's a better fight than Charlo or Andrade. Right? And now he can hide behind the fact, well, I'm at 175. I'm coming down. I'm going to go to 168. Stop it. These guys were at 154 where you were. And when you had Canelo weight at 155 and you were able to fight 3 or 4 fights at 155, they were willing to do that. They have followed you to 160. Andrade has been on record already. I know Charlo will. They'll follow you to 168 too to fight you. Right? Billy Joe Saunders was dope. Just got back and had 2 ridiculous fights. There's no momentum there. You get paid in America for beating up a black guy. I'm surprised that on May the 2nd on Cinco de Mayo, man, he can't, on May the 5th, he can't beat up a black guy with a championship, a title contender. That it would be bigger fights. Billy Joe Saunders ain't going to be that huge. It's not going to be huge, bigger than Andrade or Charlo. It won't be. Right? The bottom line is, as soon as the brother gets dangerous, we're going to put him out in obscurity. That's the deal on that. So yes, let me get to my point again. If Canelo were black, then what I would be saying about him would be the exact same. Can you say that? Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here.